Hello there, welcome to the Saber Factory. I'm Kevin, and in this video today we're going to do basically a monthly digest of everything that's happened at the Saber Factory this month, all of the updated sabers that we have now in catalog, the new sabers that we've added to the catalog, and also a little bit of news. In this video, it'll be the opportunity for everyone to basically get an in-depth view at all of those updated hilts and these new designs. You're asking me a lot about that on social media, and this video will be a monthly occurrence if there's ever a need to. And yeah, a time to show in details all of the details of the new hilts and the new designs, etc. So we'll start this video with just a little bit of news. This month we had a holiday period in January and end of January and early February. It's now over, and I'm happy to say that we have now shipped almost all of the orders from the holidays. 99% of those orders are now shipped, so now we're back to normal and there are no more delays on orders, so that's the good news. The other good news is that we are having a clearance sale in Europe. So if you're logging to the website and want an order delivered in Europe, you might see on the website, on the homepage, the second collection is a clearance sale. 20% off, it's ready to ship sabers, so enjoy it. It's limited items only. Once it's gone forever. And finally, just a heads up, follow us on Instagram, because this is where the most updates are brought to you. Basically, every survey on do you want this saber added to the catalog, every bit of news about any change, anything that we do, we communicate weekly through our stories and also through some posts, but mostly through the stories. So this is the best way to stay updated with what we are doing and the updates that we're bringing to the catalog, the sabers, the offers, the sales, events like the clearance that we're having right now in Europe. So subscribe to our Instagram. It's the best place to stay tuned, and of course subscribe to the YouTube channel also. Now to our sabers. In front of me and next to me I have a whole bunch of sabers. We have updated large amount of sabers this month, and I want to start with Qui-Gon Jinn. So Qui-Gon Jinn is a very requested update, because if you remember, the previous Qui-Gon Jinn was in our dueling range, and so basically the previous one had the standard core with the visible button and charging port. It limited the design capabilities of Nexus to bring that red knob for screen accuracy. Some design changes that you will also see, it's a little more matte. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little bit less shiny on the black, and also the emitter now is more screen accurate. There is the button, and there is also, of course, a new core construction. So this one is very particular because nowadays we're basically saying goodbye to the big cores, the ones that basically contain all of the elements of the saber. And now we're seeing slide out cores. This saber is a little bit different. When you take away the pommel, you have your charging port as well as the speaker holes, and this is not immediately removable, okay? So this is not a slide out core. This one works differently, as it's a little more complex to just disassemble, but the only thing that you need access to is remove the emitter, and now you have a two-part core. So this is your kill switch. So of course this is now going to be a standard on most of the cores except for the dueling range. The kill switch allows you to not drain your battery out, which is one of the one of the biggest problems that we have with those technologies. Is when you let them sit on the shelf for months, the battery has a tendency to drain out and then it's dead. Or you need a battery charger to boost it back to life. Now you have those kill switches, and you will need to turn it on the first time, and then pay extra attention with this design. I don't know if you can see, but inside those connections, don't go the bad way, and don't force it to not break it. So this requires a little bit of care, but once you have it correctly positioned, that's it. And now this allows you to remove, charge your battery or plug it there, turn the kill switch on and off quite easily when you don't plan on using the Saber anymore, for at least for a few days or weeks. And then, simply put the emitter back. You can have access to the core where the board is. You would not need to, but in case for maintenance, you just simply take away the sleeve by removing the Covertech wheel, and that's it. And then you will have an easier access. You will see the screws that will release the core from there. So new design, more screen accurate. That's Qui-Gon. The other type of cores that we have now, and that you will find on most sabers, and we're going to see more and more sabers updated by Nexus to reflect that new change of core design. You will see it on this Luke Skywalker, Return of the Jedi, redesigned hilt. This is not a replacement to the one that we used to have. It is an additional design. This is an alternate design you will find on our website, and we'll go through the details together. Of course, again, more screen accuracy. You have this one, it's a little more expensive because it comes also with more elements. So basically, this is the emitter and the blade plug to give it the very same appearance as in Return of the Jedi. This is also the pommel and the pommel cap that's screen accurate. But this one doesn't allow for much of the sound to come out. So you will find another end cap that allows the sound to come through. And you will find also different emitters for depending on what you want to do with it. So this is just a blade plug, nice one. Now you can put the blade in there. To screw it in place, it's a little bit harder because the screw is hidden behind this this emitter end. But you would have access to it here, and then you can tighten your blade and then put this back on. We used to, and I mean we still ship the normal version of that saber with this emitter. So you also have it with you, and you can also put this one in. It is slightly longer, so it will allow for a little more grip on the blade. I don't necessarily recommend using the shortest emitter to use with a blade because of the thin neck and the very shallow depth of that emitter. And then there is the long one, and the long one is when you want to duel, when you want to spin the saber or do some kind of performance. You want to make sure that the blade has a little bit more to grip with the saber. So this is what I would recommend you use when you need to. But so basically, yeah, different choices depending on if you want to have that in your collection as a screen accurate prop, or if you want to use it seriously for dueling. Other things that you will see is now it is a brushed aluminum, slightly brushed. I love how Nexus has refined their process, because so far we didn't have brushed aluminum except for one of our sabers, Raven Saber. It was a heavy brushed aluminum. This is very discreet. I like the way it is like this. And also you will see the uneven grip rings. I don't know if you've ever seen it was Adam Savage who made a video where he wanted to reproduce Luke's saber from a piece of aluminum, and he had a very hard time making that part even, because when you don't use fancy tools like a CNC machine or whatever, having it right, getting it right, you know, having the right proportion and knowing exactly where to cut to get that perfect angle and perfect dimension all the time. In his video, go and check it out. It is very hard for him to get that, and I think he misses it the first time and then scraps it and gets another one. And I believe it's what happened when they made the prop. You know, they didn't have fancy tools at the time, and I think they just made it, and it was uneven. I know if, like me, you have a little bit of OCD, it will always look weird. Go for the normal version. But this version that is more screen accurate is uneven, just like the original prop. So yeah, I love that. Also, when you turn it on, so yeah, this is not going to sound very loud because I'm not using the end cap that allows for the sound to come out, but good for the video. The control box, you can see the lights are blinking, and that's something that you can actually have access through there. And so basically you can turn it on or off, depending, and it will also behave depending on the blade mode, the blade color that you've chosen. So, for instance,
New Horizon.
Now it's going to be yellow. So now I have, if I had a blade in, you know, it would be a yellow blade, and it's a steady mode. So now the control box lights are steady. The
Dark Sword.
The Dark Sword is not a steady mode. As you can see, it reflects on the lights of the control box. So this is pretty cool. Those who know, this is a Profi Sabers. You can have full control of this on a Profi Saber. On Xeno 3, it will just mimic the blade mode, the blade style that you're currently using. So this is a pretty cool feature. Again, I'll give you a 360 view on this saber with the blade plug if you wish. There you go. So that's the updated Luke's design. And there are way more redesigns happening as we speak. So we're getting, every month I think we're going to get another of those legacy characters getting a redesign on the hilt, because the factory is getting better and better and changing the way they're inserting the technology in the cores. So I didn't speak much of the core, but I could have an opportunity with any lightsaber to speak about those new core. Basically, when you get your saber, you can use that Allen wrench that you get with the saber. Just be careful not to go, you know, through and pierce the speaker. Always be careful. But basically, yeah, you just use it as a slight lever. Those slide out cores, basically they contain usually the board and the battery as well as the kill switch. So now I have killed the saber. With the kill switch, it's not going to drain the battery out. And there is, so on those, these are thin necks, so there is always a control matrix in the middle. But even sabers that do not have a thin neck like this will now have a button matrix that will basically separate the core from the blade. What it allows to do is that the NeoPixel connectors, they're not the first and only contact between the blade and the board. So because the blade might transmit vibrations and shocks, sometimes, or because you sometimes you forget and insert the blade quite violently, you can break a pin. Those are fragile. Vibration might do something that will hurt the component. Now you have basically a matrix in the middle and the slide out core here, so much easier access. You don't have to unscrew it and take bits away from the hilt to access the screw that retain the core. Now it will slide out, so immediate access to the core, easier maintenance, and more durable, because now there is sort of a separation between the blade that will be the one taking the big knocks, and this will be protected. So this is a nice new feature. I appreciate that, and I think you will too. Now we're done with Luke. On to quick update on Maul's redesign. That's something that we had introduced almost 2 months back in the catalog. So it's basically the one that you see behind me. The very same saber, nothing's changed for now, but it is again this brushed aluminum, if you can see it. So here it is a little more brushed than looks, and that's actually pretty screen accurate. I appreciate the variation between slightly brushed, a little bit more brushed, or very hardly brushed, like on the Revan. So yeah, brushed aluminum design, nothing else, just this slight improvement, and still in the catalog. Pictures had been updated past month, and the price has not changed. Again, another saber that has been also slightly redesigned. You might have seen it on the website, Ahsoka's sabers. I don't think I had an opportunity to show it on YouTube or on Instagram, so I'm going to do it today. The very same sabers, except that this time it is a little more accurate to the one that we see in the Ahsoka show or in The Mandalorian, as the color scheme of the Shoto is now darker. It is basically the opposite of this one. So yeah, just glad to see that they've updated the design, and this was already in the catalog for a couple months. So nothing new here, but I just wanted to point it out. Quickly, I don't have it here, but last week we added to the catalog the updated design for Obi-Wan's Episode 1 lightsaber. Again, another beautiful redesign that we will look in depth in next month's monthly digest. So on now to the new sabers. New sabers that we have added to the catalog. You've already seen them if you looked at our Instagram. I'm starting with the Broken Lord. This one, as I said, subscribe to our Instagram, because this is where I show you the sabers when they arrive, the first prototypes, and I ask the question, if you feel like it's something you would be interested in to find on the catalog, and if you say no, I won't put it, so if you say yes, I do. So this saber had everyone jaws dropping, because it introduces a new type of kyber chamber that I find to be amazing. So I'm going to show you. It is a rotating crystal chamber. So basically looks like this. It looks quite nice. I'll let you have a closer look. And if you can hear the sound, there is this whining, rotating sound that I find quite nice. Of course, it will obey to the color choice or the blade mode that you use. So basically,
The dark sword.
if white, it's going to be white. If red, it's going to be red.
The knight.
And again and again and again. So I think everyone understands. Also, I'm going to spoil you a little bit ahead of time, but Nexus is updating the visible buttons that you see like on those dueling sabers. The button will now also be able to mimic the light mode and the color of the saber, so that's a nice upgrade. So yeah, very much loving this saber. So basically, same thing as discussed before. Slide out core, very simple to use. First time you get it, you open it, take the core out, turn the kill switch on. So now I'm turning it off so I can leave it on the shelf. It's not going to empty the battery. You can turn it on. Always turn it on if you want to charge your saber. Even if it's off, you will hear the sound cue for charging, but it's not going to charge. That's a little bug, I think, that should be solved. But yeah, leave it on. You can use it. You can plug it, turn it off. You can leave it on a shelf. Yeah, very simple to use. Quick access to your charging port. And there you go. Of course, you know, this design, it is very much inspired by Darth Vader's, as you can see from the emitter section, as well as this control box design and those this grip, half of it at least. So if you're looking for something Darth Vader-ish, but not Darth Vader, it is a magnificent hilt. This black coating is very, very new. I love it, but be mindful. It will be a little fragile. It will like chip away because it is a surface painting. So this, I do recommend to make it a saber for your collection, not necessarily a dueling saber, unless you're willing to weather it, you know, to have it show that it's been used. But it's very much a saber that now we've put on our custom designs collection, not our dueling range. That's another news of this month. We have updated the website for the Saber Factory, and now we took all of the dueling sabers that were not actually really meant for dueling, but that were not character saber also, and we put them in a custom designs collection, and this is one of them. This is a custom design. It is not a character saber, and it is not a dueling saber. Can be used as a dueling saber if you want to. Not the most practical, but yeah. So again, I'm showing it in more details. The button is here. And yeah. This is just for aesthetics, doesn't do anything. The sound is crisp, it comes out pretty well from this pommel cap. So yeah, a lovely saber. Again, if it's not in a dueling range, it is not going to be VHC. Even some sabers in the dueling range are not VHC. I heard you on Instagram. I will make a video about VHC sabers. Now is not the time, but I will. This is absolutely not a VHC saber. So yeah, new model. Now on to character sabers that we have added. I present to you Satele Shan. This is not a single saber. It is a set of 2 sabers that can connect with a coupler that comes with the set of sabers to make a dual-bladed saber. It is a beautiful piece, a heavy piece. I'll let you see it. This is something that introduces the saber engraving standard on production sabers. This is usually something that saber customizers will do, that some saber smiths will do, but it's not usually something that a big factory like Nexus will do. And when they do it, it's only for a short run of a limited series. But this is not. And it's lovely, and the weathering is pretty nice. I'll let you be the judges. It is a heavy piece, it is a thick piece, it is a deep emitter, if I can show you.
Power on.
So yeah, it's a very nice saber. I think it is comfortable enough that you could duel with it. I don't know about this part. This is very solid. It's not plastic. It's always aluminum, and I've tested this, and it is very strong. So yeah. Again, this pommel is not one that you can twist open. It requires 3 small Allen screws to be taken out, so it does need a little bit of time for you to get access to the core to do any maintenance on that saber. So it is not really a saber that I would recommend for dueling, or even like if you're on a cosplay and you really need to be able to, you know, do a quick maintenance on your saber. It won't be quick, but it is a beautiful design. So, and I think, yeah, I think it is an incredible collection item. So there you go, Satele Shan from the Old Republic, the Grandmaster of the Jedi Order. Yeah, I hope you can appreciate how detailed and how it looks. I love the weathering on this saber. Yeah. Another amazing design that was added this month to the saberfactory.com is it comes straight from the video game Jedi Survivor or Jedi Fallen Order series. This is Cere Junda's lightsaber designed. Again, this is another one of those great improvements made in designing and manufacturing lightsaber, because this one also comes with this black coating that we saw with the Broken Lord, this one, but it has been weathered, so every part that you could basically scratch has been scratched for you, I believe. I love how it has been weathered because it is pretty on point with the design of the saber. It works really, really well, and it comes with that grip band, that leather wrap, and that cloth wrap. So here, I think it's an important point is that I wouldn't consider this saber to be a dueling saber or a saber that you would even use for a cosplay, unless you're willing to remove this or find a way to glue it better, or having to replace it from time to time, because this, it's very nice that they used to not put the wraps on like Rey's lightsaber. It doesn't have a wrap like in the movies. It is just the metal grip, and here they decided to do it. Although it is just glued at the ends, on both ends of each strap of leather and cloth, and this will not hold if you use it, if you grip it, if you move with it and put your sweat on it. I think it will just take away the glue and you will lose it. So I'm being very honest here. I think this is a piece to put on a shelf. If you plan on using it, be careful with it and understand that you may have to replace those parts, find some, make your own, or out of the box, remove it and find a way to glue this in a more definite way. Right now, it is really built to be a collection item. So be mindful of that. I've put a very detailed note about this in the description of that saber. It should be considered as a collection item, even though it is as strong and as capable and has all of the technology of all the sabers that Nexus makes to be a saber that you can use and play with and even use in dueling setting. So, but just be mindful of that. Again, if you want to look at the design, I really, really, really love it. And it's quite a big baby. It's quite a big saber. Quite amazing to hold. Very quickly, because I talked about it on Cere Junda Saber, there is also this Starkiller Saber from the Force Unleashed 2 that we had added to the site like a couple months back. Same thing here. It does come with this leather wrap. Again, so this one is glued across the entirety of the wrap, but I believe this band could come loose over time if you're really using it seriously. So I think it would be best to always consider that those are consumables and should be replaced over time. Yeah, so always pay attention to this, even though this one is pretty strong because it's not a cloth, but it really is a leather wrap, and it's been wrapped like a tennis racket, so it's pretty good. But always make sure that you have a spare, or that you're willing to change it if need be. Yeah. So yeah, these are all of the sabers for which we have updated the design, the product, also the new sabers, the new hilts, the custom design, and the character sabers that have been added to the catalog during the month of February. I hope this gave you a better opportunity to see how they're made, what they look like, and how they're built. Yeah, I'm very happy to have those updates and those new sabers. There are already amazing new sabers coming. I don't want to spoil too much, I don't want to say too much, but yeah, you should expect a Kyle Katarn lightsaber to hit the website soon. I could have announced it and put it on the website, but it's not totally finished. It needs a little bit of being refined before mass production, so I'm giving Nexus a little bit more time, but it will join the catalog. I will not even ask the question if you want it to, because I want this saber so much. Jedi Knight, Dark Forces 2 actually was one of the first adventure games that I played on my PC, and this game is gold to me. Yeah, I'm old. And yeah, I love the Jedi Knight series, and Kyle Katarn is a massive legacy characters for me, so I'm not even asking your permission. The lightsaber will be on the catalog, and I will present it to you. I don't know if I can have it for February, because like the prototypes are not well built for now, and they're correcting it, so we'll see. Stay tuned. Yeah, new dueling sabers also will be coming up, so subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to Instagram. This is where everything happens. When you want to know what's going on, go to the story in the Instagram. And yeah, thank you for watching. May the Force be with you guys, and talk to you soon.